I'm back. Road Rants for Black and White Sports. Let's talk about the XFL. By the way, it's like 4 minutes left in the second quarter of the game between Dallas and St. Louis. And unfortunately, in my personal opinion, New York, the Guardians beat the Tampa Bay Vipers, by the way. Vince McMahon is having exactly what he didn't need to have happening today in the second day of the XFL. He has two bland games going on. The kind of games in which people are going to shut off unless they are very hardcore football fans. Look, the game's still on. I came in here to make a video. Now, I will go back and I'll finish the game. But guess what? Both games look like AAF games. And that was the fear, right? The AAF had a quarterback problem. And it had an offense problem. And as of 5 minutes left into the second quarter of the second game today, you had three teams, the Vipers, the Renegades, the Battlehawks, with a combined 6 points. One full game, a fifth quarter added in, and most of the second quarter of the second game. You've got Aaron Murray for Tampa. He looked terrible, okay? He only had a couple of flashes in the AAF. And if I remember correctly, he actually may have gotten benched once or twice in the AAF. And that's the problem with these leagues. Quarterback play. Now, I understand Philip Nelson is starting in lieu of Landry Jones. I said earlier, I warned in my preview video, that was a danger because Vince needed Landry. He's his flagship quarterback with the most NFL experience besides Josh Johnson. One of these teams could use Josh Johnson right now. Jordan Tamamu out of Ole Miss. He's horrible, okay? Matt McGloin looked pretty good. Not great, but pretty good for the New York Guardians. And I think what you've got here is a league that's 5 teams deep. So you're going to have 3 teams that's going to struggle on offense. Well, actually, you know what? You may have 2 teams that are going to struggle on offense. We don't know what Dallas is really going to be till Landry comes back. I think that's fair to say. But the problem is, in your second day of your product looks like the product that just went out of business. That's being honest. I'm rooting for this because I want football after the NFL's over. I do. I love football. I'm rooting for the XFL. But this is exactly what Vince didn't need in the second day. And by the way, ESPN has put the D team in a commentator, and that's a problem. There is another issue that Vince has got. They're playing in Dallas right now. Look, that New York crowd was pretty fired up, even though you could see some empty seats and it kind of looked bad. But at least they were closer in to the players, so it was a louder environment. The Dallas Renegades are playing in front of, my guess would be somewhere between 12 and 20,000 fans. It looks like in the ballpark in Arlington, and it looks like there is 15,000 seats or more empty. And it looks bad. From a TV perspective, it looks terrible. They need to figure out how to pull. They've got to get these teams into stadiums where they look full or close to full, or play in a place where the crowd is up close to the game so it's loud. That Houston's crowd was much more into the game than Dallas's crowd was. And look, I understand P.J. Walker was, Houston looks like a much better team right now too. But again, Landry Jones ain't playing. But I don't know that it would matter. The crowd is so far off the players that I just don't feel like it's going to assist Dallas in any way. And it's going to make for a poor television product. And that's a problem. You don't want these games to look poor on TV. Exactly what they didn't have happen yesterday. Probably lucky for them. But today, this looks bad. It does. Today, so far, it's been a piss-poor showing from 3 teams. 3 of your 4 teams playing in your league. Look, and they mentioned something about there had been 4 practices coming in, I guess, before training camp, or I don't know, before the game. They said 4 practices. How is that possible? You've got to have these guys practicing much more than that to get ready for something that's going to be on ESPN and Fox. I mean, I know they had a little training camp and everything, but, either take the league seriously or don't and close it. I know that you're like, whoa, Rhodes, you really talked it up earlier. Again, I was rooting for it. And you know what? Next week we may have 4 fantastic games. And if we do, great. Okay? I'm just saying that today, in a vacuum, you had a first game where Tampa Bay couldn't do dick on offense, and you got a second game where neither team can do dick on offense, and it sucks. That's why these other leagues struggle, because you don't have enough quality quarterbacks. You don't. Better pick up the phone and find some quarterbacks for these leagues, or you will be done. You will be done. That's my rant. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.